Hi, here's another video. I've been having a look at this vintage 1970s Sharp GF 2800 online. This is the original listing. Seller states that the radio works but goes off and the cassette's slow. Probably want to pause it there. Okay, here's the unit here. I purchased it and just having a look around it. Bits of rust on it, as you can see there, and it's been sitting somewhere dusty for a while, as you can see there. So this is what I'm going to be having a look at today. Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to dismantle the unit. I haven't actually tested it as yet, but I usually just strip them down and find out what the problem is inside and give them a clean and put them back together. So here you can see me just lively dismantling the unit here. Just trying to separate the front and back cover. There's 5 screws and 1 in here inside the battery compartment. As you can see, the springs are nice and clean, so no leakage of the battery. And I'll just undo that. And then once I've got that screw out, I'll just try and separate the unit, pull the unit apart. I've removed the volume and the tuning and the tone buttons, which enable you to pull the unit apart, as you can see here. Let me just give you a quick look inside. You see the speaker there and the radio dial indicator covered in dust, considering it was inside the machine. Not sure how that occurs. So what I'm going to do is remove all of these parts inside, all the electricals, and put them on a bench and test them. So here you can see me just undoing the speaker. It's just the one on this one. And then show you inside the cover there. A lot of dust inside here. 50 years worth. Let me show you the top. See, there's a lot of dust around here also, and the handle's rusty. I'll have to deal with that at some stage. So I'll just continue to dismantle the unit. That's the radio dial indicator covered in dust, like I said before. Put it to one side, and you've got this felt seal here. Just remove that, and I'll just continue to remove all of the electronics from the inside. That's the cassette mechanism there. Just going to disconnect the 2 plugs for that. Give you a quick look at that. We'll put rust and paint on the buttons. The belts are still intact, but I'm going to have to replace them. They're usually melted, but these all seem intact. It's the meter, counter meter. So just removing some of the instruments to show you here. The battery terminal, just going to undo that for the minus. You can see the earth sign in there. And on the other side now, I'm going to have to cut it. Just cut the wire and I'll resolder it back later once I put the unit back together. So that's all the instruments from the inside removed, as you can see here. I'll just put them to one side. And I'm going to put all the plastics together here, as you can see here. But first I've got to remove this rusty handle. I'm going to give the whole thing a clean, including the handle. So it's just a matter of undoing these little clip-on buttons here, which hold the handle together, one at each side obviously. And that's the handle removed. You see all the rust on it. Used to be chrome back in the 70s, but not now. Okay, now that I've got all the plastics removed, all I've got to do now is give them a clean. But first and foremost, I'm just going to pop them into this bucket, let them soak for a bit. And while that's soaking, I'll turn my attention back to the instruments which are removed and assembled here. Okay, let me show you here. Let's give it a test, plug it in. And the sound came off briefly and disappeared. And if you remember, the radio works and then goes off in the description. So let me just plug that out and flip it over. And I'm just going to reflow with my heat gun all this section here, which is to do with the power. And then I'll just flip it back over and try it again. And we have sound now, and it seems to be staying on. Let's just try tuning it in. It's the radio on long wave. That seems fine. We'll just try flick it over to medium wave. And I can still get signals. Still tune it in, but there's no aerial, so the signal is a little bit low. But it does tune into the channels, so the radio seems okay. And here you can see me just testing FM, which requires an aerial, so that's where the antenna connects. So let me just put my finger in that, see if we can get a good signal. Yeah, that seems fine. So far the radio seems okay. So I'll just turn my attention to the cassette. I'll pop the cassette on the top. You can see there, I've got it all powered on, and seems to be playing fine. But then notice that the tape was spilling out. You can see here, when it was playing, it wasn't the pickup wheel wasn't turning, and that's what's caused the tape to spill out. Tape works, but not great. As stated in the listing, which is true. So here you can see there's a take-up wheel and it's not spinning. It started spinning at first, but then it stopped. So it's supposed to be spinning there, but it's not spinning. So what I've done, I've disconnected the cassette mechanism. This wheel's supposed to be turning to turn the mechanism. But if you have a look inside here, there's a drive wheel, or I think they call it a tire or sleeve, and it's melted. The rubber's just perished after 50 years. Let me see if we can get a slow turn, show you. And that's why the take-up wheel's not spinning. So I'm going to have to replace that. I managed to find one on the internet for £4.75 and I've ordered it. Just got to wait for it to arrive. So put that to one side for a minute, and I'll go back to the covers and all the plastic parts. I'm just getting them clean here. That's 50 years worth of dirt and dust. Just trying to get that clean. As you can see here, do a good scrub with some soap and a soft brush, and I'll just rinse all the soap off here. I've got it nice and clean. And once I've done that, I'll just put them on this bit of cardboard to dry out. Okay, going back to this handle, as you can see here, it's got a lot of rust around it. Can't separate the plastic, otherwise I'd get it re-chromed. So what I'm going to do is just see if I can buff off all this rust with my drill and my wire brush here. Just getting rid of the rust. I've got to get this wire brush in this part because can't get the drill in there. So I'm just going to give it a wipe off here. Okay, I've masked it off with some black tape and some masking tape. And what I'm going to do is first of all give it a spray with some primer, and then I'm going to use some silver paint. Spray it a few times. And whilst I got my spray out, let me show you here. I've got the parts nice and dry now, but this felt part here, it's supposed to be black, so I'm just going to give it a spray with some matte black to bring it back to colour. Just flip it over and spray the other side with some matte black paint. Leave that to dry. The handle's complete now. Got a little bit of overspray on the underside, but I'm just removing the masking tape. You see there, I've sprayed it silver. Okay, I'm going to start stripping down the cassette mechanism. Got to remove the cap stand. Let me show you here once again. Let's go remove this clip, which secures the cap stand as well as the bracket in the back. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's pop that on the side for a minute. And then what I've got to do now is undo the bracket which holds the cap stand in place. The cap stand is the main pulley for the cassette mechanism. Just undo these two brackets on the back here. And then what I've got to do is withdraw this cap stand and replace this sleeve or tire inside here, which is melted. So what I've got to do is just pull the cap stand up like so. And let me show you here. This is what I'm doing now. I'm just removing the cap stand. Let's pull that out, and you can see here, like I said before, the rubber sleeve or tire is melted, and it's melted to the cap stand. It's just turned to mush after 50 years. Let me show you here. Got this bit of A4 paper. You can see here it's just completely melted. So what I've got to do now is move the housing for the cap stand. This here, this small bracket here, or housing. Just 2 Phillips on that, and it should come out. Because the melted tire or sleeve is sitting inside there. See, I've got it out there. So I've got to give this a clean out because the melted rubber is sitting on the inside. So let me just get a paper clip and see if we can push it out. You see the bits of the melted rubber on the paper clip itself. See if I can get it removed, the melted rubber. You can see it coming up there. And let me just get a bit of A4, show you what that looks like. It used to be rubber, but if you see here, let me get it onto this A4 paper. It's now just mush. So what I've got to do now is clean this section out. There's still bits of melted rubber inside, so I'm just going to feed a bit of wet wipe through. I'm just giving it a clean. Get rid of all that melted rubber. And use some cleaning fluid also. I'll just stick this wet wipe down there. I've got most of it out. There's a tiny little bit left there. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. So I managed to get this section clean. So while I'm waiting for the part, I'm just going to give these buttons a clean. Buttons for the cassette. Just use some fairy liquid and a soft brush. Give the whole thing a clean, as you can see there. Okay, the parts arrived a couple of days later. Just show you here. Comes with instructions, which is pretty good. That's the part there. Just a bit of rubber tubing. So what you've got to do is insert it and cut it to size. Insert it inside here. So I'll just slot that in there like so. You can cut it to full length, as recommended by the supplier, but I'll just cut it in half. So it's just a matter of fitting it back in the right way and tightening up the screws. That's it, inserted the housing. So now it's just a case of reinserting the cap stand, which I've cleaned. Just pushes up like so. And it should push the rubber up also. See if I can get close up so you can see. And that's the cap stand reinserted. You can see the tire inside there. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to replace the belts. I've got a selection here, flat belt and a square belt. So I'll just put the main drive belt here for the cap stand. Like I said, the old belt was okay, but I'm replacing it anyway. So that's a new belt, dry belt, the capstan, pulley. And then you got the smaller belt here. I'll just replace that also. And then it's just a matter of putting the capstan retainer bracket back on. It's just 2 screws. I'm just fitting it here, excuse the back of my hand, but I'm just refitting the 2 retaining screws for the bracket, which I removed earlier. Let's give it a spin, just make sure they're seated correctly. And I've took the time also to grease this white wheel here, put some white grease on there, and put some grease on these other sliding parts here for maintenance. Okay, just going to pop this clip back on, which I removed for the capstan. Just going to pop that back on now. It's just a matter of pushing it all the way down. And there's a little recess for it to clip into. I'll show you there, that's the little clip fitted back on. Okay, so I'm just connecting it all back up. Give it a test. Press play. And as you can see, the take-up wheel's spinning now. And you got the dry belt for the counter. You see a little close up there. That seems to be working fine. Little tyre fitted inside here. Little sleeve for the capstan wheel, pulley. Okay, so let me just stop that and just pop a cassette on and try it. Just press play. Okay, a little close up here, you can see both wheels are turning now. Take up wheel's turning, and the tape's not spinning out anymore. So let me just flip the cassette over and try it again. Just press play. And you can see that seems to be working fine. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I've got all the parts nice and clean here, as you can see. It's just a matter of reassembling the unit. But before I do that, I've got this chrome marker. I'm just going to touch up this emblem here. And you can see what it looks like. It looks a lot better now. So it's just a matter of lively reassembling the units. Just putting it all back together. Reversal of the previous. And I've time-lapsed this because this video has gone on for over 80 minutes already. Okay, let me just give it a test. Radio on, and wave.
Binding document between the local authority and your school, essentially.
Working fine.
And it sets out in writing.
Take it over to medium wave. That's working fine also. And I've put batteries inside, got to mention. And let's try FM. Let's tune it in, that seems to be working fine also. Let me just try the tape. Got a set in there. Just press play. Just flip the cassette over. That seems to be playing fine. You can see the counter there. Counter meter. And this is what it looked like before. Okay, thanks once again. Please subscribe.